So, and can everybody hear me okay? Okay, so here we go. So my name is Andrea Wagner. I'm the Interim Executive Director for CAMHPRO, which is the California Association of Mental Health Peer-Run Organizations. We are a statewide nonprofit that supports peers in positions of all elements of the mental health system. We believe in no coercive treatment, in other words, voluntary. We envision a system of entirely voluntary services for mental health. And we also support those with lived experience in mental health to be involved in the conception, planning, budget ask, and accounting and implementation of every aspect of services and programs that have to do with mental health, because we believe in the long toted slogan, nothing about us without us. Woo! So in that vein, we've gathered here today. We have people with lived experience that have gathered from all over California. We have at least probably 20 counties represented in our attendance today. We also have our partner organizations with CAMHPRO. We have a coalition of peer organizations that are statewide organizations that have helped sponsor this event and who are here today also. So I'd like to introduce them. We have Disability Rights California, which has been generous enough to help us supply the chairs and the porta potties and all those things that we need. We also have Depression and Bipolar Support Alliance of California. They've supplied water for us and been a big support in this planning. And then we have Mental Health America of California. We have Karen from there, who's also been incredibly, we just have an amazing partnership with these groups. And then in the back with the tent there, we have Cal Voices. Yes. And I think that's our main group. So we have formed to create what we call the Peer Advocates for Rights and Recovery, or PAR. That is our coalition. We're all equal members in that, and we've come together for this issue, but we hope to continue to partner on other issues that we all agree on, which are the ones I mentioned just previously, about voluntary treatment and about peers and people with lived experience be involved in all aspects of the mental health system. So today we're here because of Care Court. It's not the first, and sad to say, it probably won't be the last time we're standing up here asking for these things. But we were already looking at a lot of laws that legislative proposals that came out this year, thank you, that were involving increasing hospitalizations, increasing and expanding the LPS law to make it easier to put someone in a hospital. We were already in this fight before the governor came out a couple months ago and said he wanted to do this plan. And it was something that took over our advocacy, but I don't want to let go that there are other bills in motion right now that we adamantly oppose for this same reason. So I wanted to highlight that before we get into the specifics of Care Court. So I tend to be a very quiet, soft-spoken woman who often stays in the background. I don't see myself as a leader, but issues like this have brought me to the forefront and forced me to stand up and talk and use my voice. And right now, being nice isn't working. Being nice and going to hearings and telling the legislators how we feel and what affects us and what we want isn't working. Going and writing articles and op-eds isn't working. Talking to legislators individually in appointments isn't working. Some of them in private will agree with us, but when it's in front of a public audience, they will stand in line with the governor. The governor is using his authority to push through this Care Court plan when everybody working on it knows that there's holes in the plan. The legislators know it. His team knows it. They've said it to us, but they still are pushing it forward. So I'm done trying the nice way. So we're here today to make some noise. When a bill comes forward in normal circumstances with more than 50 organizations for human rights, housing, domestic violence, all these organizations coming forward opposing this bill, and they're still pushing it forward, something's wrong. When our governor goes and puts pressure on our legislature and they fold, something's wrong. I heard legislators in the hearings say, you know, I think this bill goes against my consciousness. It goes against the partners that I normally would support and work with, but I'm voting yes anyway. What is wrong with that?
Everything!
There's also the issue of Darrell Steinberg, the mayor here of Sacramento. He has the ear of Governor Newsom. We all know this. And Darrell Steinberg used to be a supporter of what we're doing. He helped co-author the MHSA, the Mental Health Services Act. But that does not give him the right to come back years later and use it as his piggy bank for his programs.
No!
That bill, the Mental Health Services Act, was built on the backs of peers for many years of advocacy because we wanted nothing about us without us, and we didn't have the funding for it. So MHSA was created for what we're talking about, voluntary, community-based services.
Yay!
I am tired of every year coming back and fighting to keep those dollars where they were intended in the first place.
Woo!
I am tired of hearing the big city mayors ignoring everyone else outside of their cities, ignoring their own behavioral health departments, coming out in support of the governor's plan because they are obviously upset that their city streets are full of people without houses. But is that really the fault of mental health system?
No!
I'm tired of them speaking and talking like they know what's best for us. We know what's best for us. Listen to us.
Yeah!
You know, Darrell Steinberg has come out several times and said that he thinks camping outside should be illegal. I'm sorry, I was homeless. I had no house. I would rather camp out under the trees than live in some of these deplorable shelters that they want to force us into.
Yay!
I would rather go with a place where I can keep my kids with me and my partner with me, because in shelters you're separated. In shelters you're told when you can come and when you can leave. Again, it is not our choice. We are about choice. So the one other point I want to make is that I asked why. Why is the governor taking on and supporting this issue when all these human rights organizations, disability rights organizations, people with lived experience organizations, housing advocates, people in the legislative advocacy realm are all opposing this? So why is he pushing it? And I can tell you there are very strong and very rich factions of people too that are pushing this. Why do they get the choice when they're trying to take away ours? Why do they get to push this forward? And I've seen it over and over. It's the corporate hospital structure. I used to do hospitalization. I know it's a privatized system. Why are we giving money to that? Why are we giving money to pharmaceutical companies? And I could go off on a tangent about that, but I know that that all plays a part in this because you follow the money with politics, right? We, and all these grassroots nonprofit organizations, we are working on pennies. Why isn't the money being diverted to our programs and not to a new court system that will harm disproportionately Black and brown people, that will hurt people that are already suffering and put them through more trauma and more coercion? This has got to stop, and he needs to listen. So I could talk all day. This is something that has impassioned me so much. This was not my field of work, but I have to be here. I am someone with lived experience. I have been in a hospital. I have lived on the streets. I have been through serious trauma in my life. And what got me well was people like this, people with lived experience who understood what I was going through and talked me through it because they'd been through it too, and we all got better. So I'm going to invite up a few people that we've asked to speak today. Hi. And we have a couple people that want to speak today, and then we will have open mic after that. So I'm going to first ask Tiffany Carter to come up from Cal Voices.